If you're using Ideogram to create colouring books, then stick around and watch all of this video because I've got some pretty cool stuff which I want to show you. Now it all starts with this colouring book just here, which I just made. We have a cover and we have the colouring pages, and as you can see, these look really good. Now what I want to do is show you my process of going from idea generation to actually creating the colouring pages and the colouring book cover. Because if we look just here, these two are in the exact same style, but one's a colouring page and one's the book cover. And these were all created with the help of my brand new tools. Now I am going to get more into that as well, but I also have another cover just here which we're going to take a look at, and this says Cute and Spooky Halloween Colouring Book. It's still kind of got the same style as this, as we can see, and I have a bunch more colouring book covers that we're also going to take a look at. Now this all starts with my idea generation tool, and that is the colouring book swipe files. Now this is a little tool of mine which I recently put together, which I'm going to show you as well in a minute. Now this tool which I'm about to share, I haven't really spoken about here on the YouTube channel, only on my email lists, so you probably have no idea about this. Now what this is a Google spreadsheet with all of the best-selling colouring books for the month. So we have July just here, and we also have August. We have the colouring book covers, as we can see. We can see the book title, who it's published by, and then there's a link to go over to Amazon as well. Now doing this is what allows me to see trends and any design patterns. So every month I'm taking the top best-selling or 50 of the best-selling colouring books on Amazon and then adding it into this Google spreadsheet. Now what I'm also doing is taking all of the book titles and putting them just here, as we can see. Now this isn't the cool part. The cool part is I have a GPT which I created that if you take some of these titles then input them into the GPT, you get brand new, unique ideas based off this best-selling list. Now, if you want to check this out at all, there is going to be a link down in the description. Now, this is only available until the 27th of September, and then it is going to be taken down until November. You can also currently get this for $34.99. Now, if we come over to ChatGPT just here, this is the GPT. This is my colouring book swipe files idea generation. So all I have to do is take a handful of the best-selling colouring books for that month, plug them in to my generator just here, and then I get lots of ideas that I can then dive deeper into. So if we take a look here, I took a handful of the colouring book titles and I started getting some ideas. Creepy Cozy Corners is just one of them. Now let me just quickly explain a little bit about this as well. So you get the title and subtitle idea. You also get a little paragraph of what inspired the book. So in this case it's Spooky Cutie, Cozy Spaces and Spooky Vibes. And then you also get a little description of what the colouring book could be. So this one, Creepy Cozy Corners, could be a colouring book that features charming yet eerie scenes set in snug corners. So as we can see, we get some pretty good ideas. So what I did was actually plugged in these ones just here. I got all of these ideas. I wanted more, so I put 5 more. And then I got all of these: Whimsical Woods, Chibi Chill, Boldly Simple, Spooky Pets. So I really liked this idea, this Spooky Pets idea. So I put 5 more similar to Spooky Pets and keep the pet theme. And this is where I started to dive deeper. So I had this idea just here, which is Wicked Whiskers, a cute and creepy colouring book. So this is inspired, obviously, by the Spooky Pets because I wanted more of that, but it could be a colouring book featuring an assortment of mischievous and magical cats. So I really liked this idea, so I thought is there any way that I could actually find keywords to target this idea? So I come over to Amazon, I started playing around, put in Halloween colouring book, cute spooky Halloween colouring book, and lots of different variables. But with this one, spooky Halloween colouring book, I found this idea. This is cute and spooky Halloween colouring book. The estimated search volume looks fairly good. The search results looked good as well. It's a little bit higher than that. But then the demand is a 4, so it's not amazing for the demand, but the opportunity is 8. So I then opened that just to take a little look, and this looks like a fairly good niche. And if we look here, there's only 1,000 results. So that's cute and spooky Halloween colouring book. So that would be the idea of the colouring book. It could be Wicked Whiskers, a cute and spooky Halloween colouring book. We now have a way that we can target this book, and to create this book is very, very simple. I actually use another one of my tools. This is all in the Ultimate Colouring Page Prompt Generator. Now this is also only available till the 27th of September. After that it is going to be taken down as well, all the way up until November. Now if you want to check this out as well, there is going to be a link down in the description. Now this has a whole suite of GPTs. We have one for line art, grayscale, patterns, the King GPT, which is a combination of all three, and then my favourite, which I've created, is my quote colouring page GPT as well, which looks like this. So this is the Ultimate Colouring Page Prompt Generator, quotes. So it generates structured and detailed prompts for creating quote colouring pages in Ideogram. Now with this, what I simply put was cute and creepy Halloween cat quote. So I got this. Now these sections are all split up because this first part is to do with the font and the font style. The second part is the illustration, the design, and then the third part is the surrounding elements. But what I simply do is simply put in cute and creepy Halloween quote. Remember, we're going to create the book called Wicked Whiskers, and it's a cute and spooky Halloween colouring book. We're targeting this because there's only 1,000 results, and if we look on the first page of these, there's some really great BSRs as well. But nonetheless, I created the first prompt. So what I like to do is simply put in another, and then I take all of these prompts, input them into Ideogram just here, so I can make lots of different styles. So the prompts just here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have a few of them. What I did was plug them all in, and then I got these designs just here. Now what I'm doing is going fishing for a certain style font, and then I'll use that font all throughout my book. So if we take a look at these, we can see they're all kind of a little bit different styles. These ones look okay. These ones look okay. There's a little bit of colour on that, but again, we wouldn't be using this. We're just looking for a certain style. And what I did was actually settle on this style. This is the type of font which I wanted, and that's what I created the colouring pages with, as we can see with these ones just here. So from there, what I actually did was just put another, but use the same style font as this prompt. So this prompt is from this colouring page just here. And then I started getting prompts for the colouring pages with a cute Halloween quote where all of the colouring page is centred around a cat. So I put this into Ideogram. And then I put another with only 2 surrounding images. So sometimes with my prompt generator, you do get a lot going on. Sometimes that can look amazing, and sometimes not so much. So I tend to create my colour pages now just with a couple of different elements. And as you can see, it keeps the colouring pages a lot more clean and just looks a lot better. So after that, I put another. Now here are the quotes as well, as we can see. Hocus Pocus Paws, Perfectly Haunting, and a few others. So that's how I created this style colouring pages, and I could kept going to create a lot more colouring pages for the colouring book. I then chose one of these colouring pages that I liked. I quite liked this cute but a little bit creepy, and I used another one of my prompt generators, and it's called covers. So this is essentially a converter. Now this isn't available in my ultimate colouring page prompt generator quite yet. It is going to be released in there. It will either be the end of the week or next week. I'm just playing around with it, trying to tweak it, because I do get a few errors with it every now and then. But nonetheless, this actually converts colouring page prompts into colouring book cover prompts, and again for Ideogram. So what I did was actually taken one of my prompts, as you can see just here, and again it was this prompt. But what I actually did this time, I kept the whole prompt, but I changed out the quote for Wicked Whiskers. So that's the idea that we come up with. So now this prompt, exactly the same prompt, but it doesn't have that quote anymore because Wicked Whiskers is now going to be the quote. Now all I have to do is simply put in the title of the book and then the colouring page prompt, and then it converts it, as we can see just here, into a colouring book cover prompt instead. So at the beginning, we now see a colouring book cover design with the words cute and spooky Halloween colouring book. Then we have the rest of the prompt. Now this was slightly playing up a little bit, so I put another, and then we got the Wicked Whiskers. So we have a cute and spooky Halloween colouring book with the words Wicked Whiskers. And I just kept going on, generating more. I generated more with bright colours as well, and I started creating these books just here, or these book covers. Now I did go back to the GPT and I restarted a new chat, and I kept that original prompt exactly the same, but I still used that same title, and then I started getting these. Now this is what I mean when I say this hasn't been released yet, because I'm getting a few little errors. So it should be this prompt converted into a colouring book cover prompt. But as we can see just here, there's no reference of this cute and creepy. So I simply put, you are not keeping the original prompt, and then it sorted itself out. And then I started taking all of these prompts. I put another with bright, vivid Halloween colour palette. So you can also play around with the colour palette as well. Now the great thing about this is it's going to choose the colours for you, and based off the niche that your original colouring page is in. So all we have to do is put the prompt, the book title, and then it will choose the colour palette unless you specify a colour palette as well. But nonetheless, I created all of these. I actually created a lot more. These are the ones that I liked. So on this one, it says cute and spooky Halloween colouring book, and it says that Wicked Whiskers. And we can see that it does look pretty good. Now, depending on what type of niche and the colouring page, quote, and how many words are in the quote, will depend on whether or not it can literally take that page and then convert it into a book cover instead. So we can see these two are a very similar style, but the problem with this was it wasn't keeping that cute and spooky Halloween colouring book just here. But if I were to use this, that wouldn't be too much of an issue, because I could simply erase this and then just put that on there myself, because this is a very simple cover. But nonetheless, I created all of these, and as you can see, they do look pretty good. Cute, but a little creepy. A Halloween colouring book. Then there's this one. Cute and spooky Halloween colouring book, and again, it's called Wicked Whiskers. Now, whatever your title is on Amazon, remember, you either have to have it on the front cover and or on the spine. So if you've got enough colouring pages, you wouldn't need it on the cover, you could have it on the spine. Then this one, I really liked this, but it wasn't keeping that whiskers part of the title, but nonetheless, cute and spooky Halloween colouring book. And this does look really, really good. So I just wanted to share my process with you by using my tools. All of my tools, which I just shared with you, were originally created for me to help me in my own colouring book creation process. using these tools with the idea generation and then my prompt generators really speeds up the creation of my colouring books. Now with these, if you want to know how I edit these ready for a book, I actually use Kittle and I turn them into SVGs. So every single one here is an SVG, meaning that they're infinitely scalable. So we could take this, we're not going to actually do that, but you could just increase the size as much as you want because these are SVGs, so you don't lose that quality. Now I did create a video all about that, and if you want to check that out, I will also link that down in the description. But nonetheless, my tools help me with idea generation. The ideas are based off the best-selling colouring books for that month as well. And then my prompt generators help me create my quote colouring pages and keep the whole book congruent just like this. So again, if you want to come and check these out, there will be a link down in the description. Just be aware that these won't be available after the 27th of September and not until November. But if you do want to check this out, there's going to be a link down in the description for my colouring book swipe files and my ultimate colouring page prompt generator. And my cover generator should be released over the next couple of weeks. I'm just tweaking a few little things just to make it a little bit better. So, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up as it really helps out the channel, and if you're not too sure what to watch next, click right here and watch this playlist.